Hi guys, it's Craig again here and Boaz from
Hello,
Indigo.
hello, hello.
Thank you all for taking your time out of your Friday afternoon to join our wee webinar here. And as you rightly know, it's going to be on elan. What we're going to do here, obviously Indigo ourselves have been doing elan for probably the guts of about 10 or 11 years throughout the UK and Ireland. And what I'm going to do is do the front end overview of the elan, so talk you around the interface and why you should do elan, why do it through ourselves. And then I'm going to have Boaz here, the king of automation, is what he's been dubbed as by some of our customers. And he is going to talk you through how we've built up some of the room and a little bit of the configuration of elan and just kind of show you what it's all about. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and let you have a look at the front end of elan here. So I'm going to flip my computer on. You should be able to see my screen, I hope. Boaz, can you confirm that everyone can see the elan interface? Is that right?
Yeah, I can see.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so guys, elan is obviously, as I'm sure a lot of you know, it's a full automation platform. It will do absolutely everything from control over lighting and heating and CCTV and all of your media, and it would give you that across multiple interfaces and methods of contact. So what your client gets is a really uniform, very slick, very easy to use system for all of their kind of products within their house. Within the elan portfolio, for those of you who don't know, you have got pretty much everything that you could possibly need. So audio matrices, video matrices, CCTV from elan, NVRs from elan, obviously processors. You have remote controls, you've got touch screens, you've got apps and all that good stuff, door stations, etc., that you might need. Stuff that we don't particularly do native to elan, which would be the main one, to be honest, is lighting. But we are able to do that through other third parties, which we have beautiful drivers and partnerships with. And it really does form a really comprehensive automation package. And yeah, we've been bringing it to you for a while. It's very, very solid. What you'll notice about elan is its stability and its speed, not only for the client's usage, but also the installers configuration and programming. I personally think it's one of the best things on the market, and I've seen most of them and done a little bit of most of them, and I love it. And I'm not just saying that because I sell it. So without further ado, I just want to talk you around some of the interface. So obviously what you're seeing here is what they call the elan viewer, and that's available on desktop as well as it is on your other interfaces, so remotes as they touch screens and apps on your phones, etc., etc. What the client has the ability to do is customize this to within a certain degree. So themes, interfaces, icon sets, etc., etc. And I'll show you that too. But I'm just going to talk you through this. We've just picked one, which I quite like because it's the wee movable theme. It's one of their live themes, is what they call it. Out of the box, there's probably, I don't know, the guts of about 10, maybe 20 that you can choose from without you even having to sort of completely customize it and make something bespoke and weird and wonderful to your client. But by all means, you can completely do that too. That's where elan really comes into play, is that it is very customizable. So this is the new version 8 theme, and what you get here, we had this just simply populated this morning. This is on one of our middle processors, which is our GSC2, aimed at kind of medium to large scale houses. It'll do pretty much everything that you'll need. So the home screen here, just a simple templated one out of the box. This will populate with your calendar. As you can see here, you've got home and away modes. You have got an overview of what the weather's like as well. Your home and away modes, you can have up to 10 of them should you need. And what that will actually give you is basically how your system's going to perform while you're away. And again, you can relabel these. Obviously, it doesn't have to be home and away. It can be home and vacation or holiday or whatever you need to call it. And that'll then go ahead and set up essentially events for your lighting and your sprinkler systems for the summertime, your CCTV recording and your TVs and all that good stuff. And you just go ahead and event map off the back of those buttons to actually do what you need to do. elan's new viewer here, you'll see that there's the little hamburger here. Simply touch that, it brings you back into the home screen or the main screen. So we'll just quickly dive into it. You have got security. Texacom Premier Elite is the main security alarm that we will work with. We've got a beautiful two-way driver with that. What you can see here is the house partition, and we'll just set up a simple garage partition. And it says ready to arm. What you can do is simply go into that go into that particular zone, and you get a readout. So you can, I'm not going to arm it or disarm it, but I'm just going to talk you around it. So you've got arm, stay at home, you've got away. You'll go ahead and key in whatever passcode that you've got, particularly for the house. You can go ahead and see, and you can bypass different floors. So again, it can be windows, it can be doors, it can be garage doors, it can be gates, it can be whatever the case may be. And then you can go ahead and get an overview as to when things have been opened, who's opened them, when they've opened them, when it was closed. And again, then you can just go ahead and go back into your home screen here. You have the ability to go into lighting. Elan's usability on this feature, I think, is very, very nice. It gives you, obviously, as you can see here, the readout of the room that you're in, but it'll also give you the indication of what temperature that particular room's in at, and you can simply hotkey straight into it here, up and down, for setting your cool points and your heat points, or you can go into the room. So they like to let you do stuff on the fly, in other words. So it'll give you your room readout, and it'll give you your heating. That's because we're in heating mode down here. You can, sorry, on this particular demo one we've done, we haven't actually added cool points, but you can add heating, cooling. You can have your fan run it on, off, or auto. Auto will obviously be based on set points that you have had put throughout the day based on your schedule here. So you can go into the schedule. By all means, you can set this, you can change it, you can set the temperature to be hot. Turn on at a certain temperature of cool to make it as hot as you need it to be, and vice versa. If it's too warm, it'll actually set the cool points as well. We can add them in. It's very, very simple. Maybe Boaz will do that for us actually while we're doing the sort of show and tell the configuration. You go in and you will see on the history graph here where your heating and lighting has been put, or sorry, where your heating and cooling has been operating, which rooms it's been operating on. It's perfect for the likes of maybe like boutique hotels or B&Bs, where maybe there's like sort of 10 or 15 rooms, and instead of having to go around and turn off each and every individual room, you can just do it from a master point. You can look at it and see every room's on. Cool, I'm going to turn them off. Lighting as well. We just populated 2 little lighting zones, but again, you can, the more you have, the better it would be. This little one device on is very simple, as I'm sure you can tell. It indicates that there is a lighting device or a lighting circuit on in the living room. You can go into that room if you want and go ahead and completely customize this. This is just a very quickly put together version of some of the interfaces and options you've got available. Within Elan, you've got RGB color wheels, you've got sliders, as you can see here. You have fade up and down buttons, you've got on, off, meeting, etc., etc. And again, this is very standard, but you can go ahead and completely customize this. You can have images and icons to represent any sort of room you'd like, etc., etc. And you can cycle through the rooms at the top here if you'd want, or you can go back out, go into the room, go into it, and then control the room from there. So we will do media, because that's where really Elan and these kind of automation platforms will excel, is that they have complete control over the media from a nice, standardized, easy to use interface. So you pick up one device, you've got the same thing. Your granny picks up another device and she'll pick the same thing, and it'll all be really simple and uniformed. Okay. Within the media, we're just in the lounge, we're in music mode at the minute. You can see it's got a cover artwork here. You can play, pause, all your transport controls. You can bring in your tune-ins, your Spotify's. You can set favorites. You can bring in playlists, and you can search. You can do all that good stuff by location and whatever you actually need it to be. That's obviously based on media streamers. So depending on what it is you use, be it Sonos, Hios, Fusion Drive, or whatever the case may be, you'll get all those different options. Likewise, you can go out of it, out of the lounge, and you can go into other options. So whatever other media you've got, Apple TVs, Blu-rays, etc., etc. And depending on this interface and the drivers that you've got, will dictate what's there and what's not there. And likewise, we can go ahead and make real weird and wonderful, bespoke, super simple or super complicated interfaces. It's down to what the client actually wants. So another nice feature is the CCTV side of things within Elan. You can have a multitude of different cameras put on this. Elan obviously have their own with their own MVRs. We've got door stations, etc., etc. As you see here, this is a 2N door station here, and that's what the feed is from that 2N module. And then you can go ahead and zoom in the other areas, depending on what you've got put on here. If there's MVRs, etc., etc. You'll get timelines and you'll get notifications as to when events happen. You'll get thumbnail icons, and there's lots of different ways to actually set this up. Maybe Boaz will show us the one of the cameras is attached to an MVR, and I can show you the live and recorded playback. Because again, a really nice feature of the elan system is that you've got native recording and native playback from within the elan interface. There's absolutely no app jumping, and that's one of the beauties of elan. And just another example, you've got the intercom section here. Again, elan's own intercom or many others. And you can dial groups, you can dial single stations. So talk's sake, if I want to dial my iPhone, I can have an audio call or a video call, or likewise, you can do touchscreen to touchscreen. You can set up dial plans where it will call one phone. 10 seconds later, if that phone's not been answered, it'll call 2 or 3 others, or a touchscreen or 2, or whatever the case may be. So I'm just going to show you an idea what the interface would look like. So I should be calling my iPhone, but someone's actually phoning it here, and I think it's causing a few problems with it. Apologies, typical demos. Yeah, let's see, we'll see if we can call Boaz here then. So this is your interface that you will see whenever you're dialing the touchscreens, etc., etc. You will see Boaz's face whenever he actually starts to connect to it or accepts the connection. And yeah, that's what you'll get on phones, etc., etc. And again, you can go ahead and configure that, which we can talk about. So that's the standard overview of the interface. There's obviously more it can do, but these are just a few things we added in. Now, very quickly before I hand over to Boaz, you may or may not have noticed the cogwheel down the bottom here. This little cogwheel gives the client the ability to go ahead and configure their station and have a little bit of power over the station themselves. So for talk's sake, I'm sure many of you know elan have beautiful integration with facial recognition and Alexa and all that good stuff out of the box. But this is where they'll go ahead and configure that side of things. So if I had a touchpad, I would go ahead and action this in here and record my face and then event map my face to do stuff. Okay, so the client can go in, he's got to be able to change passwords, he can manage users, he can go ahead, or she obviously can go ahead. Oh, sorry. I've just dropped out of connection. Sorry, guys. Let me see. Apologies. Launch viewer. Can you all still see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Apologies. Sorry, I have to get the right password. So you can manage users, you can import global settings where you set your dial plans, you can have TV channels, so I could put, for talk's sake, the kids get only access to the kids channels, and I'll just press a button, I get all of these. Again, you'll set that up from within here. I can configure the touchscreen, which is a nice option, so Mr. Customer can decide that he doesn't like these live moving themes. He might want to, I don't know, go ahead and pick a desert theme, and you can apply it just to his particular touchscreen or his phone, or by all means you can apply it through the entire house, and I'll just go ahead and update them. You can also go ahead and set up privacy masks. So again, elan really excel in the video side of things. You can set up masks and event maps and have the ability to enable and disable survey modes where they will go ahead and, for talk's sake, let's have a look. You can go ahead and set your privacy mask onto a camera and decide, okay, I don't want to maybe record this section here off the window. They can go ahead and decide what to do and when to do it, and they can go ahead and apply that, and then that'll not record this section of it on the viewer and on the MVR. So it's quite nice for somebody who's maybe sort of sensitive about areas that he doesn't want to have recorded. Okay, that's a very crash course, sort of 10-15 minutes there on what the interface of elan actually is. I'm going to hand it over to Boaz to maybe do sort of 10 minutes or so on the configuration side of things. Maybe Boaz, you can set up a small media zone and talk about the discovery tab, which is a really cool feature. I'm going to stop showing my screen now if you want to take over.
Yeah, no worries at all. Let me start sharing my screen.
Excellent. I'll just get out of the viewer here. So I think, did I see?
You need to make me a presenter, I believe.
Okay, David, I don't know if you're still in the background. I'm not sure how to do that.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good. I got it. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yep.
Brilliant. Let's go into the elan configurator. Now, as you can see over here, this is the elan configurator. And while first of all, sorry. My name is Boaz. I'm a tech support and training manager for Indigo distribution, mainly doing Elan, but most of our other brands we support and train as well. Regardless, what Craig showed you was the customer facing side, the UI of Elan. Let's talk a little bit about under the hood. So this is the Elan configurator. This is where we program pretty much everything there is to program within the Elan. Now, this system isn't about writing complex line of codes. This system isn't about creating these very complex macros and stuff like that. It's very, very simple point and click system. And what do I mean by that? Let's take a look. So I can actually click here. This is the basic information, getting some, like it says on tin, some very basic information on the system, but I can right click and change the IP address, right? And make multiple other things on the Elan. Now, let's do, I want to show you three things. Okay, first of all, how easy it is to create new devices within Elan, and this is through the Discovery tab. Now, this is the Discovery tab. Every Elan controller in the latest firmware will have that, and with the Elan Discovery tab, I'll be able to fully integrate all these devices you see before you within the click of button. I don't need to know the IP address or MAC address. I don't need to know anything about these devices because there are Elan devices like the Elan cameras, the Elan NVRs, the Elan, this is the 4x4 matrix, for example. What do I need to do to add it to Elan? Well, this. Done. All right, very, very easy to do. And now instead of the installable devices, it's now under the installed devices, and it's a nice little network scanner, and you can see what's exactly on your network. And if you want, I can log in by to the web interface of anything here by just clicking on it. And there you go. So Discovery tab, I can pretty much set and configure all these cameras, all these NVR 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's add these two, so like 12, 13, 15 devices, and you can see it'll take me about a minute. All right, 4 seconds minimum each on average. Very, very easy to do. So that's the Discovery tab in a nutshell. It just saves you the time, which is very, very good, and gives you the ability to set, for example, IP addresses, right? I want the HCP, I want to name it. This camera, let's take a look at this camera, for example. All right, the HCP, I can name it whatever I want. I can see the MAC address, do all those weird and wonderful things. And now if I go to the media section, let's take a look at the 4x4 matrix I created. And you can see how easy it is to add devices. So a 4x4 matrix will have 4 sources and 4 outputs, 4 inputs, 4 outputs. All I need to do if I wanted to add the, let's say, an Apple TV, is just find it on the list after adding it here on the sources table and click. And again, I want on the second interface, second input, Blu-ray. There you go. There's your Blu-ray, right? Very, very easy to do. And now I can click here, and this is the lounge, for example, or living room or kitchen or whatever. And there you go. I've now configured my own video zone. Took me no more than 2 minutes. All right. So the integration, the programming is meant to be as easy as possible. Let me just go back to the webinar. I want to see if there are any questions. Brilliant, no questions. We'll continue. Sorry?
I'll just monitor the question if there's anything comes in.
Brilliant, thank you very much, Craig. Now, what else do we have here? I want to show you the versatility of the interface. So you've seen this, all right? You've seen this. This is something we created ourselves, and there you go. Lighting tab, living room, and you can see the screen, you can see the RGB, you can see all these wonderful things. Now, this took me about maybe a minute to create. Very, very simple to do. You know what, in fact, I don't want this keypad. I'm gonna actually delete that. I'm gonna put instead, because this is a lighting page, but it can be anything. It can be a security page, heating page, a media page, whatever you want, you decide. I'm gonna put a dimmer. So I don't want it to be horizontal, I can make it a vertical slider like this, and I'll connect it to main spots, for example. There you go. Save. Maybe make it a bit bigger. Now, when I save it, immediately, if I go back to the viewer, there you go. And those of you still looking at Craig's camera will see that the lights behind him are dimmable, right? So this is literally live, being live, that the whatever changes we do on the elan, yeah, we do it immediately. Now, if I wanted to create a new one, I want to say I can copy it, paste it again, and this time instead of the main spots, I'll give it these spots, the megaphonic spots, and even I can make them a bit more even, like that. There you go. Now I have two. All right, you can make 3, 4, as many as you want. Very, very, very easy to do. Very easy to create these weird and wonderful, bespoke and tailored user interfaces anywhere. Lighting is the best way to do it, but you can do it in media, in security, pool, irrigation, wherever you want. It's very, very easy to do. So that's number 2 on the versatility of elan. Before I go into the last one, which is the macro building, the event mapper, just want to show you something that Craig actually promised to do. This is from our own Indigo elan system, and this is our warehouse. As you can see here, we have a lot of stuff coming out, but this is actually footage from before. Okay, this is 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. But look at these lines. Okay, the yellow and white lines, and sometimes even well, we won't even have red here because red is for vehicle. But you can see here. Let me just get all the person. There you go. These are all the times a person has been detected. And in fact, not just a timeline, you can go for an event list and say, oh, you know what? I want to all the times that a person has been detected. There you go. About 10 minutes ago, I can now see that the person has been detected, and I can, there you go. Okay, here is one of the salespeople talking, I'm sure, to a very satisfied customer. All right. So now Mrs. Customer, Mr. Customer, someone was a burglar last night. They don't have to go over 8 hours of footage because all the times the camera has actually detected a person will be found here instead of, I don't know, a deer, a branch in the wind. Doesn't matter. Okay. So all the time, every time that a person has been detected, you will find it here. There are almost 500 events because our footage goes about 2 weeks 2 weeks back, and you can either do it over the timeline or an event, or you can have, you know what, all the events, motion and person and vehicle, doesn't matter. All right, so that was something that Craig promised, so I want to share this. We have 5 minutes left, so I want to show you something a little bit about the event maps. The event maps are our macro builder, so we can create, well, pretty much whatever we want. The point of automation, the point of a smart home isn't just to have a nice little app on your phone, it's to make things work together. So how about we do this? Let me create a event map called Cinema. And the event map is very, very simple. The command, the trigger, will be the lounge zone turning on. All right. So whenever you go to your elan remote, go to your elan app and say, I'm clicking on, I want to turn on the zone, I want to watch my cinema, I want to watch my lounge TV. All right. So whenever you do that, you know what? I'm actually going to go to the command and say lighting system, let's say the demo room, keypad, movie mode. Press the scene button. And now, again, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And now so easy to do. Whenever the zone is turned on, whenever you turn on your TV and say, I want to watch a movie, the movie turns on, your Blu-ray, your Apple TVs, your Roku's, your whatever is selected, the lights go down, dim down by themselves automatically. You know, so we're in a smart home business, right? And now the lights are go on to the scene you want, just like that by themselves, which is really, really, really cool. Now, we can do a lot of things. Okay, one of the things that people have asked like a lot was the ability to count how many times motion was detected, all right, in a certain time. So we can do it very, very quickly. In fact, I can do it through here, video, and I can click on the entrance. Say when a person is detected, this is the trigger. This is the event that will trigger our command. Then we'll do something. But before that, I actually need to create a variable, which is how many times, oops, motion, all right? So we're going to start it at 0. And now we're going to do the trigger being the motion detected, and then the value is +1. So every time it goes +1, and there you go. And now all I really need to do is go to any of my custom pages, let's say this one, for example, and add a live text. Let's find it, live text, there you go. Whoops. And connect it to how many times motion. All right, so we can do stuff like that. You can add a text. These how many times the motion has been detected or something like that, but I'm not going to bother right now because we are almost out of time. So go here. This is 0, right? So this camera. This was the entrance camera that is being set. So I'm not going to actually wait for someone to actually go there and make themselves visible so motion is detected. Instead, I'm going to go to the variable. Instead, I'm going to change it to 10, right, instead of 0. And apply. And this is as if 10 times someone actually was on the camera on the entrance hall and says hello, detected motion. There you go, one more, and then boom, immediately it goes up to 10. All right, super easy to do, and you can actually see the potential here. Okay, we can have so many things going on, not just with variables and with a variable called boolean over here, which allows us to have these complex if-else statements, if you know what I mean, but also these very, very simple if this, do that. If the zone is turned on, let's go for a scene, let's go for the lighting. But you can also, not just that, but you can also have climate system, the lounge cooling, set the set point to, I don't know, 20. Okay, so not only do you get the great lighting scene that you want, but now you get the temperature to be as much as you want, and it's all done automatically. So that's the event map for you. Like you see here, so easy to do. And
it is. I think, truth be told, I think we went a wee bit deeper into the event mapping side of things than what I had sort of anticipated there. But so what you're seeing, guys, you're seeing the advanced side of elan in terms of what Boaz is actually demonstrating. And truth be told, it's not as advanced as many people would sort of expect. It's not like it's smoke and mirrors. This stuff is learnable, and it's not like you're doing, as Boaz says, sort of C++ or Python or any kind of code. It's just logic-based movements, and that's the advanced stuff within elan. The simple setting up rooms and setting up media and adding lighting is very much right-click and add driver, and then build a nice interface or use a nice interface that's already developed. elan won Human Interface of the Year award a couple of years ago, and it's just always been really, really strong. And that's what we're trying to get across, is that elan gives you an extremely stable and extremely customizable, if necessary, system. But yes, I think we're running very quickly out of time, and I know David is down to finish, because I believe we're the last group of this whole week, I believe. So if you got any questions, guys, please fire them over. But failing that, definitely I'd love to hear from you. I'm sure Boaz would too. Whoever wants to send me an email.
Matt has a question. Matt, no, I think I have your email is shown to us. So Matt, I'll get in touch with you about that. He says, is there any way to get the software to run me through it? Yeah, definitely. We'll get you the software. We'll show you what's needed there. I get
Yeah.
one of the guys to give you a call.
Yeah. So for some reason I can't see that. Well, listen, I think that's David. That's our 30-minute slot up. I don't know if you want to take back the reins or if anybody else is leaving questions. I for some reason can't see the questions, so I don't actually know. Apologies, guys. If you do want any more information, though, please do reach out. Just info at Indigo Distribution. It comes through to everybody. And obviously we'll keep an eye on it. Either my team at the sales side of things or Boaz's guys in the tech side of things. There's enough of us here who can help you out, I hope. So if you can see any more questions,
All right.
Boaz, guys, that's us for today. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for coming.
No worries. See ya.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thanks.